After the Court of Appeal threw out the BBI on Friday, today we're going to talk about the aftermath. What is the game plan? What is everybody doing from President Uhuru, Raila Odinga, and the rest who are supporting the BBI? And this is going to be a true test of character. How much do they believe in the BBI? Yeah, we'll take a look at that. Also, we'll take a look at today's news and everything else that you need to know to trending topics. Yeah, we'll talk about Alfred Mutua and that awkward situation. Yeah, we definitely have to. Welcome to Speedpin. My name is Kimani Bogo. Always happy to have you here so that we can take a look at the news, talk about the day's events. You know, today we have a bit of political material because last Friday, the Court of Appeal, the BBI ruling didn't go the way the proponents of the BBI wanted. And so today we're going to talk about what is their next move and what is the other side doing, how they reacted. I'll give you an update on that. Thank you so much for choosing Speedfeed to get your news today. Give me your comments as well. I'll tell you the story that we're talking about if you haven't seen the description to this post already. But let's start with President Uhuru. So his reaction, he has organized another meeting with One Kenya principals and Raila Odinga at State House, Mombasa. It seems like the president is comfortable working in the coast. He doesn't even want to come back to Nairobi. And today the People Daily also indicated that the president will be bringing together the BBI team to plan out the next course of action after that ruling. And this meeting was supposed to happen today, but it was pushed to Wednesday to ensure everybody who is needed to attend will attend, because today there's an ODM meeting that I'll tell you about in a second. And Raila declared, Mudavadi on the other hand he said that the meeting last week that the president called was not about supporting anyone for a political seat, which we all believe. Yeah, we all believe what he is saying. And Raila, on the other hand, he already said, let's move on after the BBI. He launched the Azimio la Umoja campaign last week in Nakuru, and we'll talk about the effects of that in Mount Kenya. But meanwhile, let's talk about Ruto allied MPs or DP Ruto allied MPs who have accused President Uhuru of misusing tax money. Remember, there was a suit that was actually suggesting that President Uhuru should pay the money that was spent on BBI out of his own pocket? Well, Aldai MP Connolly Sarem stated that the president didn't get authority from Parliament to use the money that was spent on the BBI. And Connolly is part of a group of MPs that believe that the funds would have been better used on other projects. In fact, DP Ruto on Saturday, he held a press conference and said, now let's focus on the Big Four agenda, now that the BBI is behind us. But the BBI team is saying, not yet. Let's sit down and plan out the next course of action. We'll talk about Raila Odinga being in Nakuru last week at the launch of the Azimio la Umoja campaign, which is basically his campaign for the presidency. And at that meeting, we had some leaders from Central Kenya, which forms our question for today, and I'll tell you why. This is because, again, DP Ruto allied MPs in Central, they have accused Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru and the other Mount Kenya leaders who were at that meeting of backtracking on their promise or their endorsement of Raila Odinga. And they criticized Waiguru and the others because Waiguru later came out and said she did not exactly endorse Raila Odinga. And this was Ndindi Nyoro and Rigathi Gachagua. They're like, okay, so you said you're supporting Raila Odinga still? They're like, no, you have to stand by what you said, which forms my question for today. We're asking today, will Mount Kenya support Raila Odinga? That's a question because it's very suspect that Governor Anne Waiguru is not declaring her stand to support Raila Odinga. Well, she was at that meeting, which implied that she is supporting him for presidency. And of course, President Uhuru has already made it clear that he is favoring Raila Odinga to succeed him. In fact, this was stated by Murad about 3 weeks ago, where he said that if the BBI fails, then we should prepare to put Raila Odinga in State House, because if Raila Odinga is elected president, then the BBI will be passed. Another question still that I want you to answer me. The proponents of the BBI, this will be a true test of character. Do they really believe in the things that were contained in the BBI? Because that will tell with how well they're going to plan their next course of action. And we are going to know that in the coming days. On Wednesday, there's a meeting, and we are going to know about that. Let me check out your comments. Sylvia saying, I'm from Kisii. Nasema Kisii ni Ruto. Mwangi Charles, Raila has no space in Mount Kenya. Cyrus Kimurgor, you're saying no. Beatrice Guchu, you're saying, of course, Mount Kenya will support Raila. Onesimus Kaviti is saying, I'm from Muranga and here we know William Samoei Ruto, period. Cleophas Nyangena, you're saying it's hard. Let me see some of your comments. Yes, give me your comments, especially if you come from Central Kenya. Mwangi Charles is saying, for all these years, hasn't he learned lessons? Mimi ni Jeff. Mimi ni Jeff, I see you. Always top fan. We should give you a top fan badge. You're saying, yes, Mount Kenya, minus the people will really support him. Well, give me your comments because it's suspect. This is based on Governor Anne Waiguru's, kind of retracting on her support of Raila Odinga because she was in that meeting in Nakuru, and now she seems to say, I didn't say that I will be supporting him for presidency. Well, and remember, the president is still in the coast, by the way, which, what's up? Yeah? He's not coming back to Nairobi. He just wants to, stay uko Mombasa. Watu wa Mombasa mmepatia prezo nini hataki kurudi Nairobi? Anyway, that's just a sidebar. But let's talk about ODM. What are they doing after the BBI was thrown out on Friday? Raila has called for a meeting to discuss the party's future today. Mvita MP Abdul Somad Nasir. I always have to say, when I say his name, Instagram favorite model. Well, he confirmed the meeting would be held today, and this is, of course, after ODM members disclosed that the team would move to Parliament to pursue the BBI. Yes, there are two ways of changing the constitution. One is through Parliament, and two is through a popular initiative. The popular initiative was blocked by the courts, so now there remains one option, through Parliament, to change the constitution. So, which means in the next few days we might see a different course of action. Yeah, after the BBI. Nasema reggae ilizimwa ama ni volume imepunguzwa. Tutajua in the coming days. And now, speaking of still on the BBI topic and some of the repercussions of the BBI being thrown out, this might deal a major blow to about 27 constituencies who might face dissolution. There are 27 constituencies which might be disbanded because the IBC is expected to resume its review of boundaries of constituencies and wards to ensure that the population in each constituency meets the population quota. And the population quota, as per the 2020 census, is 164,000 people. So if your constituency has less than 164,000 people, it might be disbanded and joined with another constituency. So those are some of the repercussions, as now the IBC is reviewing boundaries. Some constituencies will just cease to exist if the IBC continues with this boundaries review, and if they do it on time before the next election. Now, shall we move to other stories as well? The Competition Authority of Kenya, this is just other news that you need to know. They have fined an association of suppliers 408,000 shillings on allegations of exploiting Kenyans. And CAK explained that the groups plan to fix the 6 kg and 13 kg LPG cylinders. They basically overpriced those cylinders, and so they were fined. So kuna gas, the small cylinders and the 6 kg and the 13 kg, some players in the LPG industry, they were putting their prices unreasonably high, and so they were fined. And of course, Competition Authority of Kenya is an agency that's meant to do this. Anisi, how you doing? You're good? Yeah. Okay. Shall we talk about Jimmy Kibaki? You know who Jimmy Kibaki is? Of course, everybody knows who Jimmy Kibaki is. And Nation has been running an exclusive interview over the weekend, and it's gone viral. In fact, Jimmy Kibaki, I think, is still trending today on Twitter. If you see Jimmy Kibaki trending, it's because of that story by Nation. It ran on Saturday and Sunday. And so some of the things that he said in that interview is that he recalled the only time that he had his father, Mwai Kibaki, get angry and raise his voice. And the only time he did that was when he discovered that some people at State House were trying to stop President Uhuru from reaching him at that time. Remember, at that time, he was not President Uhuru, he was candidate Uhuru Kenyatta. And so Uhuru wanted to speak to Kibaki, and some people were trying to stop him. And at the time, both Uhuru and Musalia Mudavadi were running for president, and Musalia Mudavadi allied officials at State House who wanted Musalia Mudavadi to become president, they kept Uhuru from meeting Kibaki. And so President Kibaki got angry and he almost fired the comptroller State House back then when he realized that they were actually trying to block Uhuru from seeing him. It's very interesting. You should go check it out. Now, Sean the Paul, Dirty Paul. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember when Sean Paul was in Kenya. This was back in 2004. And he talked about his trip to the Masai Mara. And also he corrected the story about losing his Nokia 3650, which is the most famous story about Sean Paul's visit to Kenya. He said that he lost his Nokia phone during that concert. And contrary to the popular story that goes around that his phone was stolen at Carnivore, he said his phone went missing when he was checking into JKIA and it was not lost at that concert at Carnivore. Yeah. So, which means your life is probably a lie, because this story, I have had it countless times, especially from those people who attended that concert and everybody else who has heard of the story of Sean Paul being in Kenya. They always talk about how he lost his phone. And he said he didn't exactly lose it at the concert. He lost it during check-in at the airport. And if you have ever lost an item at the airport, you know it's probably not because there's a thief. It's because it's an airport. Meanwhile, all civil servants, wafanyikazi wa serikali, you risk losing your salary and allowances if you do not get vaccinated from today. Yep. Public Service and Gender PS Mary Kimonyo stated that unvaccinated civil servants will be treated as discipline cases because they have provided the opportunity for you to be vaccinated against the pandemic and you have refused. And so they're going to punish you by taking your salary unless you get vaccinated. Yeah. That's a directive from government. Yes. Now let's talk about a viral story which has the internet has been talking about since yesterday, and we have videos, right? We have videos about this. Let's play them, Felix. This is from Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua's birthday yesterday, and this picture has confused a lot of people because his ex Lilian Nganga told us last week that they had broken up, and only for her to show up at his 51st birthday party. Usually what happens, maybe after a breakup, the first thing you want to do is a party and celebrate breaking up, but not for these people. You know, it was really confusing because they were right there. And I have to say, well, it was an all-white party, and they got Governor Mutua got Rayvanny to perform at his birthday party. Yeah, this was at the Imara Ole Sereni, and so many people attended this party. I saw some of my friends who went to that party, and I was like, "Guy, kumbe mimi sijui watu." Yeah, and there they were. Baba helping him cut the cake, and Rayvanny over there, and Lilian was just there, which is really confusing given the fact that we never asked for this information about the status of their relationship. They're the ones who told us that they had broken up. So if we ask, okay, how comes you guys are still together? It's like, okay, would you blame us for asking that? No. And that's why Governor Mutua is still trending right now on Twitter. Yeah, that's your speed feed for today.